morning everyone. Welcome in science class. So this is the third session of chapter metals and non-metals. And in this session we will discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metal. Basically chemical properties are the properties which tells us that how an element react in different conditions. React with different elements. So these are known as chemical properties. It means chemical properties tells us how an element basically react. So the reactions of an element will be discussed in chemical properties. Let's start the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In this chapter, we will discuss about 4 different chemical properties of metals and non-metal. The first one is reaction with oxygen. Second is reaction with water. Third is reaction with acids. And fourth is reaction with alkalis. Here I have given 4 different links for different chemical reaction. You can go through that link and can easily enjoy the video related to the reaction. Let's start the first chemical reaction. Reaction of oxygen with metals. When we discussed or when we tell about the reaction of oxygen, then we know that oxygen is present in the air. So we can say reaction of the metal with air also. Here there is an activity. In this activity, we burned magnesium ribbon. Basically, it is in the shape of ribbon. That's why it is known as magnesium ribbon. Basically, magnesium is a metal. So when we burn magnesium metal in the presence of air, then it produces a flame. And this one flame, you can see in the picture, this one flame produce dazzling white light. एक dazzling white light के साथ ये burn होता है. अब ये dazzling white light के साथ जब burn होगा, then this is the chemical reaction. When magnesium react with oxygen, it form magnesium oxide. It is very important that what is the color of the light when magnesium burn. So the color is dazzling white. Dazzling white बोलते हैं बहुत जो चमकदार, आंखों को चकाचौंध करने वाला जो white होता है, that kind of dazzling white. You had observed this condition when we burn fuljari on Diwali. Then this kind of कंडीशन वी इजीली ऑब्जर्व, क्योंकि उसमें आपने देखा होगा तो छोटे छोटे बारीक बारीक फुलझड़ी में मैग्नीशियम के पार्टिकल्स लगे होते हैं, तो वो जब बर्न होता है तो ऐसी फ्लेम देते हैं. सो बर्न अ मैग्नीशियम रिबन इन एयर बाय होल्डिंग इट विद अ पेयर ऑफ टोंग्स. टोंग्स ये जिससे होल्ड किया हुआ है, दिस वन इज टोंग. जब आप केमिस्ट्री लैब में जाते हैं तो क्योंकि आपको हाथ से पकड़ना नहीं होता, इसको मान लीजिए जैसे किचन में हम होल्ड करने के लिए चिमटा इस्तेमाल करते हैं, वैसे इसको यहाँ केमिस्ट्री लैब में टोंग्स बोलते हैं. देन आफ्टर बर्निंग वी ऑब्जर्व अ व्हाइट पाउडर, कलेक्ट द व्हाइट पाउडर एंड डिसॉल्व इट इन वाटर. सो आफ्टर बर्निंग इट, ash, white colored ash will form, and this ash is of white color. It is again very important. What is the color of the ash formed by burning of magnesium? That is of white color. So we collect it and we dissolve it in water. देखिए, magnesium oxide react with water to form magnesium hydroxide. So now there is a solution of magnesium oxide in water. Then what we do? Dip a strip of red litmus in this solution. When we dip a red litmus in this solution, then the color of the red litmus will change into blue. And what does it indicate? It indicates that the solution is basic in nature. So here we can conclude something. Metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides, which are basic in nature. Basic in nature means they can turn red litmus to blue. Second one is Potassium, calcium and sodium are very reactive and they react with oxygen even at room temperature. They are too much reactive then they do not require to fire them. They already catch fire when they kept in the open air. You already had discussed this in the chemistry section in the chapter where spontaneous combustion was there. So there you had already learned it that some substances are there which spontaneously catch fire. So potassium and sodium one of that metal. एंड कैल्शियम कैल्शियम भी बहुत है लेकिन कैल्शियम इतनी जल्दी ऑक्सीजन को रिएक्ट नहीं करता सोडियम और पोटेशियम की हम बात करते हैं सोडियम पोटेशियम बहुत हाईली रिएक्टिव है कैल्शियम रिएक्ट तो करता है पर बर्न होता हुआ नहीं दिखता है सो फाइनली these are the conclusion of this reaction. Let's move on to the second one activity, reaction of oxygen with non-metal. As we had discussed about the metal, the same we will discuss about the non-metal. Here burn a piece of charcoal. As charcoal is made up of carbon, so we burn a piece of charcoal in a deflagrating spoon. Deflagrating spoon, this one spoon. So you can observe the shape of it. And cover it with a lid. देखिए यहाँ से cover कर दिया because the fumes, gases that are formed, if we do not cover it, then they can easily pass out, they can easily come out from it, but we require that. So what happened in that? Carbon react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. And remove the spoon from the jar and pour some water in the jar. So the fumes which are formed, we dissolve that into the water and finally we get the solution. So water when react with carbon dioxide, it form carbonic acid. But कार्बोनिक एसिड की आइडेंटिफिकेशन करना पड़ेगा कि ये एसिड ही है कि नहीं है. So what we do? Again, we took a blue litmus paper and dip it into the solution. What we observe? The litmus paper, blue litmus paper will turn into red. And what does it indicate? It indicates that the given solution is acidic in nature. So as we had discussed in the previous slide, that metals oxides are basic in nature. We can say non-metals oxides are acidic in nature. What is the conclusion? Non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxides which are acidic in nature. Now you can make a comparison between these two activities. This one activity of metals and non-metal. Metals form metallic oxide, non-metals form non-metallic oxide. Metals form oxide and these oxides are basic in nature but non-metals form acidic oxides. So you can make a comparison of this two. Second one, reaction of water with metals. So what happened in that case? Take a piece of magnesium ribbon, clean its surface by rubbing it with a sandpaper to remove the layer of its oxide. Because magnesium is a metal and it can very soon react with oxygen from the air and form a layer. So before starting the reaction, we should remove that layer. Then we do activity with magnesium. Pour it in a boiling tube, half fill the tube with water. This one. आपने एक ट्यूब ली, उसमें मैग्नीशियम रिबन डाला and fill it with water. Invert another boiling tube over the mouth of the first boiling tube and gently warm the lower tube over the flame of a Bunsen burner. This one is the second tube which is placed over this one tube. Why? Because the gases which will form, those gases can easily be collected in the second one tube. So what we will observe? Here it is written, you will observe. So what we will observe? We observe the formation of bubbles in water. And remember one thing, where there are bubbles, it means there is some gas. So what happened? The gas which is present, which is formed, that gas can easily enter into this one tube. Then obtain this tube and you can put a thumb on it so that the gas cannot come out. And then keep a burning splinter near the mouth of the inverted tube. That burner splinter will burn with pop sound. Now what is this pop sound? पॉपकॉर्न भूनते हुए अगर कभी देखे हैं तो उनमें से जो पट की आवाज आती है, that is the pop sound. That is also known as crackling sound. So it is the identification test for hydrogen gas. कौन सी गैस है जो पॉप साउंड क्रिएट करती है? दैट इज ओनली एंड ओनली हाइड्रोजन. तो अगर इसमें ट्यूब में से गैस जो निकलती है वो पॉप साउंड के साथ बर्न होती है, इट मींस दिस गैस इज हाइड्रोजन. सो दिस वन इज द आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ हाइड्रोजन गैस. दिस इज द केमिकल इक्वेशन. मैग्नीशियम react with water on heating, it form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. It is very important what you observe: formation of bubbles. Which gas is formed? Hydrogen gas. How do you identify? By keeping a burning splinter near the mouth, it burns with pop sound. So this one is hydrogen. Let's take the reaction of water with metals. So these are the conclusion that we had discussed. Some metals can react with water to liberate hydrogen gas. Some metal means mostly metal which are reactive. Metals differ in their reactivity towards water. Differ in their reactivity, that means some react with very vigorously, very fastly, and some do not. Like sodium and potassium react vigorously, बहुत तेजी से react करते हैं with water, releasing a lot of heat. A lot of heat will come out. That hydrogen evolve catch fire. इतनी हीट निकलती है इनके रिएक्शन से कि वो जो हाइड्रोजन भी निकलती है, हीट भी निकल रही है और हाइड्रोजन भी निकलती है, तो वो जो हीट निकलती है उसकी वजह से हाइड्रोजन फायर कैच कर लेती है, बिकॉज हाइड्रोजन इज अ इनफ्लेमेबल गैस. Therefore, these metals are stored under kerosene और पैराफिन वैक्स. क्योंकि अगर एयर में रखेंगे तब भी ये मेटल ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है, एयर से रिएक्ट करके बर्न हो जाते हैं. If we keep it inside the water, then they react with water and form hydrogen, and that hydrogen can catch fire. So to prevent the accidental fire, they are stored under kerosene or paraffin wax. Magnesium does not react with cold water but reacts with hot water. तो मैग्नीशियम इनसे थोड़ा कम रिएक्टिव है. जिंक reacts with boiling water, तो जिंक और कम रिएक्टिव हुआ. Iron reacts with steam, indicating that it is very less reactive, obviously. And gold, silver, platinum, copper, mercury, they basically do not react. So now we can see sodium is very reactive, potassium is very reactive, but magnesium comparatively less. Zinc magnesium से भी कम reactive, iron उससे भी कम reactive, and these are non-reactive. Non-reactive, or you can say least. Now reaction of water with non-metals. Non-metals do not react with water. Non-metals water के साथ react नहीं करते. Some reactive non-metals are stored in water to prevent their reaction with air. Some reactive non-metal, like reactive metals, are stored in kerosene to stop the accidental fire. In the same manner, some non-metals are stored in water to avoid their reaction with oxygen. क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन से तो कर लेते हैं, तो उनकी ऑक्सीजन से रिएक्शन को रोकने के लिए उनको वाटर में रखा जाता है. So phosphorus is kept in water to prevent its contact with air. It catch fire on reacting with air. Okay, this one is the next one. I hope you understand. Have a nice day. Goodbye.